morning. Welcome to another episode of the Star Wars Minute. It's your daily podcast where we analyze, scrutinize, and celebrate solo a Star Wars story 1 minute at a time. I'm Alex Robinson from alexrobinson.fun.
I'm Pete the Retailer from PeteTheRetailer.com.
I am Alex's baby brother, Andy Robinson of the Godfather Minute podcast and of the Underdog Night Soldiers Rock and Roll Band.
And I am Alex's baby sister, Ella Moran. I don't play an instrument and I don't have a podcast.
It's Family Week here on Solo, a Star Wars story. Thank you so much for returning, you guys. You guys ready to talk about minute 129?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Minute number 129 starts with a thank you to Dominic Tucci, Touchy, Touchy. I'm not sure how you pronounce that last name. Touche. I like it. French style. That's a special FX supervisor. Then it ends a minute later with second unit director of photography, Tim Worcester, getting a shout out in the credits.
Did you say special effects or special ethics?
Oh.
Special ethics or ethics?
Not ethics.
Ethics.
There could have been a special ethics supervisor.
I like that. That would be a great role on a movie set,
Right.
wouldn't it?
Ethics supervisor back.
Yeah.
Now, is that
would be it.
ethics in terms of the script and the production,
Right.
or the ethics of the actors and the crew?
I think you need
Like-
two teams, one for each.
Like internally within the story,
Yeah.
are things ethical within the world that we've created?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Should they be?
Mm.
And then, you probably need someone to supervise both of those teams.
Right.
That would be like the
Special
master,
ethics supervisor.
Yeah,
that would be the executive ethics
There you
supervisor.
Right.
Exactly.
Well,
Oh, kitty cat. Those of you not watching the video, Ella is holding up the kitty cat. Max, is that his name?
Nope.
No, it's Crookshanks. And actually, there's another special guest making an appearance in the mirror. Oh, there she goes.
The ghost disappearing in the night. I don't have anything specific to the credits. Pete, you want to? Are there any Pete's that need to be covered in this section?
A couple of different things from the credits. First off is ILM animation supervisor Matthew Shumway, which made me think of Alf, who of course his real name is Gordon Shumway. And
That's correct.
No relation, it seems, but Matthew Shumway also worked on Land of the Lost, but the 2009 movie, and also did worked on Star Wars Biomes, which we've all enjoyed on the Disney Plus. Hey, how did the cat get from our house to Alex's house?
And change color so quickly.
Yeah.
Then
That was a cat, right? Did it also change species?
Well, that was a cat. All right.
Okay.
Cookie puss. Our cat
also,
Cookie Puss.
now we're going to note the cast order, because the cast shows up again. Because first we had the big cats order. Cats order.
everywhere.
It's Rum Tum Tugger, then Skimbleshanks, the railway cat. No,
And Mr. Mistopheles as himself.
Yeah. So the order that the cast is listed in is different here than it was when they were popping up the names as soon as the credits go. Then once it actually lists the full cast, now we've got a different listing, because we've got, of course, Alden Ehrenreich first. Then second, Joonas Suotamo comes up
As
second.
Chewbacca.
It doesn't even, because he can't get as Chewbacca here, because it's just Chewbacca. You know, everybody's listed with character and name.
Yeah.
Could be, by screen time, he's definitely up there. So
Do you think this is by screen time?
I'm not sure. I don't think so, because then it goes Woody Harrelson, which, again, makes
Sure.
sense. Emilia Clarke next. Donald Glover, Tandy Newton, Phoebe Waller-Bridges, Paul Bettany. So it's pretty similar, except the big jump up from Joonas to number 2 on the call sheet there. Also of note in the credits, in the cast credits, Corso, John Toohey. Corso is listed here, and you can imagine watching the movie and being like, "Who's Corso?" And granted, you'll be doing that a lot because there's a lot of people that it's just like, what? And, doesn't, you're not going to remember who, Savarine bartender was, but you'll. Unless you just watched the movie 10 minutes before we started. But
so he was totally cut out of the film, but still gets listed in the credits.
I think he's in some background shots, and I think because so Corso was the muscle originally. He was part of Beckett's gang when they first meet up with Beckett's gang. He was part of the gang and then gets killed in the battle at Minban when they're fighting. When they're pretending to be Imperials and that whole thing, and that's why they need some muscle in the gang because their previous muscle Corso gets exploded. And so Corso was cut out of the film almost entirely, but you can still see him kind of in some background shots and in some when they're
Still
doing
counts.
some, when the whole Beckett crew moves, you can kind of see him walk by, but he's mysteriously absent. But he does still get listed and credited here, so good for him. Speaking of Mimban mud, another
We were.
mud trooper, Imperial mud trooper. One of them, there are, I think, 3 Imperial mud troopers listed. One of them is Aaron Heffernan, who I had.
Heffernan.
I will remember him because Ella, we saw him in a small off Broadway production called Bears in Space.
As soon as you said a small off Broadway, I was kind of hoping it was going to be Bears in Space,
It
which
was
I couldn't
Bears in
remember the
Space.
title of, but I could remember the conceit
Huh.
of
Yeah.
and could picture the show. That was such a fun
It
situation.
was.
How did you look up every single one of these people or just the
No.
Mud Troopers? Or did you remember his name from having gone to see Bears in Space 12 years ago?
It's the last one.
Okay, wow.
Well,
the most
'cause
likely
It
of all.
seemed familiar as I'm going through. I'm just like, oh, and like half the time it's just like that person seems familiar, and I click on it. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, he was in an episode of Babylon 5 that I saw, whatever. And
See, this is what, like, if you stick around for the credits, like, this is
you learn
who you
stuff,
become.
Yeah.
And I
Learn
saw
stuff.
his name and I was like, oh, that can't be that guy, right? Like I think I'm getting the name wrong, but the name said, Aaron Heffernan. It's an unusual sounding name, and so it stuck out in my mind. I'm like, oh, that can't be the same guy from that, and it is. And it's there's they had a theater group called Collapsing Horse that were doing some fun.
What was the name of the
productions.
production again?
It was called Bears in Space.
Bears in Space.
Another member of Collapsing Horse was, I forgot the actor's name, but the kid who played Joffrey in Game of Thrones. He was another member of Collapsing Horse. And they had this weird combination kind of puppet show / it was like a live action combined with Muppets almost combined, and it was like a sci-fi comedy production thing. It was really cool.
Was Joffrey in it?
Yes.
Was this before Game of Thrones?
No.
'Cause it was so during Game of Thrones?
Yeah, it was kind of a draw.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was in the New York Times magazine or something or the art section, because he was in it, made it slightly bubble up a little bit. And I was like, we were like, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
Did he play a similar role? Kind of
No.
a really nasty authoritarian
Yeah.
bear ruler?
I think everybody played multiple parts. I think one of his parts was a slightly pompous kind of maybe world ruler or something like that. But
Do you think he's
also-
typecast at this point?
It could be. I think, but he helped write it and create it. So he's doing his own. Maybe he was playing off his own typecasting stereotypes, making a thing out of it.
For the record, I am pro throwing garbage in theaters, in live action theaters, not just movie theaters.
All
Now,
right.
when you say throwing garbage, do you mean throwing it at the stage or leaving it under the chair?
I mean dropping garbage, and I mean throwing garbage.
Mm.
I usually bring like a head of lettuce and some
Yes.
tomatoes with me whenever I go to the theater. So if there's a bad show, I'll let them have it.
Right.
It's on my right as a theater goer.
So you don't just limit it to the garbage that you purchase at the theater. You feel like you have the right to bring your own garbage. What about recyclables?
No, only compostables. That's the only
Right,
thing
yeah,
I'll throw in a live
Only
live action
compostables.
theater.
Coffee
Yeah, come on.
grounds.
I'm not a
and
monster.
lemon rinds.
Yeah.
See, I only feel it's okay to throw plastics that have numbers 3 through 7 because we don't recycle those anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
That's terrible.
You know what?
What's terrible?
Plastic number 6 is the same as Shrinky Dinks. So if you have number 6 plastic, you can save it, reuse it as Shrinky Dinks, make some
Go figure.
trinkets.
We did that this week.
Mm-hmm.
With plastics number 6.
Yeah.
You melted down plastics number 6 to make Shrinky Dinks, or you bought Shrinky Dinks?
Heated it up and shrunk it down because it was part of a takeout container.
Oh.
And it was like, oh, look, this one's number 6. So you cut it out and you sand down one side so you can draw and stuff on it, and then cut it out and put it in the oven, and it goes and it shrunk way down really quickly. More shrinky than Shrinky Dinks, I think.
I think I have one right here, actually.
How many plastics did you have to go through before you found the one that would shrink down properly?
You know, I thought I read the thing just like last week. I read that it was like, oh, hey, like number 6 is the same as Shrinky Dinks. I'll keep an eye out for that. And
this is a Shrinky Dink that Pete made. It
really is shrunken.
It's so tiny.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was the original size of that? Was that like a 24-ounce iced tea container?
It was an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. No, it was like, it was a fairly small thing, but it shrunk way down.
Wow. Now, you probably have to pay a royalty to Shrinky Dinks, right? Every time you do that?
Well, as long as we don't call it Shrinky Dinks, I got to say they're.
What's your version? What's your knockoff name for it?
Like,
let's see.
Like Shrunkum Dunks?
Shrunky Donks.
Shrunky Dunk.
It's like a Jay and Silent Bob thing. Shrunky Donks.
But literally last week I just read it for the first time. I was like, oh, number 6 plastic was the same as Shrinky Dinks. And then I've just been keeping an eye out as we, can this go in the recycling? No, it's got to go in the garbage. Oh, but it's a 6, so let me take that out. And then we cut it out. So it only took a couple of days before I found a piece. So we're going to keep looking.
Here I've been leaving my garbage in dressing rooms like a slob, and I could be turning them into Shrinky Dinks this whole time.
Well, actually, the Shrunky Donks, please.
Shrunky Donks,
trademarked. You want to actually take the whole container? They were like, it was it was a clamshell, like little plastic thing that maybe a side salad would come in. And so we want to take some of those and just put those in the toaster oven and see if the whole thing will Shronky Donk down to a miniature dollhouse size takeout
dollhouse
container.
Size. Oh, that's cool. You can pretend you're a giant holding a tiny.
Exactly.
I think that's how the liquor companies shrink their liquor bottles for airplanes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's a good
number 6 package.
Put it in the oven at 350 for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Shrunky drunks.
Oh, there you go. Shrinky drunks.
Shrinky drinks.
Shrinky drinks.
There you go.
Shrinky drinks.
Short shots.
Short shots. Short, sharp
so it's
shots.
good. That's a lot safer legally. We're getting away from the.
Yeah.
I also had there's a credit here for weapons check enforcer Jason Wong, which we know, but as an acting credit. So we know that guy, the character is Tote Rod. She even says thanks Tote to him in the movie. I just was watching it when they were watching it earlier today, and so it's odd that he's just listed as weapons check enforcer, unless I'm misreading who that is. But
is weapons check enforcer like the person who should have been working with Alec Baldwin that famous time?
No,
like
too soon.
I'm just saying it sounds very. It sounds very
right
military.
Well, but it's the character that they're playing.
Oh, I thought that was the. No,
it's the character. It's Tote Ra. But
sorry, I thought it was the person who did the weapons checks on set also played Tote Ra.
No, there
that
should
makes more sense.
That should be so, but we're not at that level of crew yet.
Got it. Okay.
Maybe that's what Alec Baldwin's production. Maybe that's where it went wrong. They ended up not hiring a real professional. They played an actor who played that role in a film.
Weapons check enforcer.
So they didn't really know all the protocol.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is where we find out there's no Pete's in the cast at all. We get to the end of the cast listing. There's no Pete's in the cast. But
there's a Clint Howard.
But of course, the blood and guts, the backbone of the production, of course, the stunt performers, the people who are risking their necks to make the movie happen. We got 2 Pete's in there. There's a list of stunt performers. Pete Ford and Peter Pajorero, who almost double qualifies. Like that's almost like Pete Peterson kind of level. So hats off to Pete Ford and Peter Pajorero. for holding it down. Sorry to everyone that there are no Petes in the cast, but
someday that'll be a breakthrough role. Hello, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, did you look this up, or is there a way to find out specifically what stunts each of these Petes did? Or whether they were like stunt doubles for anybody who...
I don't know. I don't think it, without kind of contacting them directly, I don't know if there's a way to find out exactly what they did, but and they are listed as stunt performers, not stand-ins or anything like that. So I think they're just stunt whatever high falls and kind of table, going through a table, what other kinds of things.
Falling off a speeder bike.
I have a question for the panel. If you were to be a stunt performer and had to specialize in one type of stunt, what type of stunt, assuming you were good at it, you don't get injured, blah, 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 what type of stunt would you want to be like your wheelhouse?
Yeah, definitely falling into bodies of water, falling into big fluffy like mattresses, and falling onto trampolines.
So like from great heights?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Right, high falls. And they do onto like an airbag or like a stack of cardboard boxes and stuff like that.
You guys get a lot of demands.
Into the water is like what I would prefer to.
Well, that's like a high dive. Into. That's more like an Olympic event.
So you specialize in waterfalls.
Yeah.
Right. Don't go chasing them.
Andy, what's your category?
I think I'd want to be burned.
Burning.
I'd want that really thick suit, and the character I'm portraying is really fast, nimble, but then when they show me, I'm all in that thick suit, kind of like a mummy.
Slowly.
Right, yeah.
And then of course it's so poorly cut, the movie, that you haven't even seen the split second of the fire extinguisher blasting me. I think that'd be fun.
Truly watched a lot of 80s music videos if you want to be the guy on fire.
That's right. How about you all?
I'm going to go windows. I'm going to go breaking through glass windows. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like that's my I'm going to break the glass
ceilings through them, right?
No matter thrown, pushed, jumping, whatever you need me to do. That's what I'm
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So, you get that sugar glass.
Right.
Yeah.
You get that shrinky dink plastic layer.
Right,
Sorry, shrunky dunks.
It's like the window right before you crash through the window. They blast it with the same fire that we're using for you. It's the same thing, and it just shrinks right down, so you go right through it.
Oh,
nice.
What about you, Pete? What's your specialty?
Well, I don't know. My initial thought was high falls, but if Ella's going to do that, and I know our
together, it would be so romantic.
There you go, hand in hand, high falls. Yeah. I don't want to go into the water though. I want to go into like a big air cushion.
Never mind.
You could get married as you were jumping, the guy could be doing the thing as you go down.
And I know our friend Matt was, after watching him get squibbed, I don't think I would want to do that because it seemed like an interesting thing too, but it seemed like it was a lifelong dream of Matt Gorley's, and then he got it and he was like, it did kind of hurt a little bit.
Oh, poor baby.
So I might want to go to one of my other provided that there's training involved beforehand. I want to do something involving helicopters, some kind of helicopter stunt. Maybe a helicopter stunt pilot or somebody that hangs out of the helicopter to pretend that they're doing something.
It's fall related, adjacent.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Part of me takes umbrage that they list the stunt people in credits. I know this will be controversial because it kind of takes away from your belief that all of this really existed and this really took place as portrayed. Now I got to see that it's all fake.
Well, it is.
Maybe that's why I leave before the credits really roll.
That's true. You don't want to know that this was.
You're like produced by Ron Howard. No.
It should say Han Solo as Han Solo. What's going on?
As himself. Every role is as him or herself.
Well, it is a separate section after, and so it's like the cast, and then it's like stunt performers. So it's a
They should do it from least illusion breaking to most illusion breaking. That's how they should do it. Yes.
And as the credits progress, the font gets smaller and smaller, so it's even harder. Right. Even if you're stuck there because your feet are stuck to the floor from all the soda pop Alex is spilling, you really can't even read it anyway.
And then that last one is the legal notice that says like this motion picture represents the characters they're in are completely fictitious and any similarity. Oh, that's the last one because that totally breaks the seal.
Yeah. Well, Andy, on your past appearances on the show, you have challenged us with Star Wars, was it questions?
Star Wars questions
that you don't think we know. Can you elaborate on this?
That's right. I created, as a guest, I created my own bit for you all, and it's called You Don't Know Poodoo About Star Wars.
Oh, I like using Star Wars.
So I've got a few questions for you today, and the questions really two parts. I don't think they've ever been asked of you, and I'm not sure you'll know the answers.
Wow.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Yeah, because Pete can always edit it out if we don't know. So, yeah.
Right, sure.
And no looking up on your devices. I need to see everyone's hands. No looking up on your devices. Hands up. Come on. Okay. Question number one. I'll throw you a softball. How many toes does Greedo have?
Toes?
Does Greedo have?
Pete, I'm going to defer to you on this.
How many toes does Greedo have?
I've never seen his toes. We've seen sometimes he wears high heels. Sometimes he's I'm looking around at all my local Greedos and they're all wearing boots. Boots or high heels.
I know where to find one without shoes in our house.
Oh, yeah, that's...
And action figures might not be anatomically correct.
Right. Yeah.
So you can't even count on that.
Yeah,
in some cases.
All right, Ellie, you're saying 4 toes?
Four
is that on
each foot? Yes.
Alex, what are you saying? 4 on each foot?
4 on his left foot, 3 on his right foot after Han Solo shot one of his toes off. That'll be revealed in the next Han Solo movie.
Wait, did Han Solo shoot his toe off first?
That's gonna be in the next movie.
Okay. Pete, what do you think?
It's like that one with the Chandler, you find out that he's missing a toe because... Anyway, I'll say 2 on each foot.
Oh.
Okay. Well, someone look that up because I don't know the answers to these questions.
All right. Good.
All right. Question number 2.
Mm-hmm.
In the Star Wars universe, do the characters experience financial inflation?
Very topical, torn from today's headlines.
Let's see. Well, what do we know?
Yes. Absolutely.
Says yes. I'll say no.
No.
I think once the Empire took over, they had very strong economic policies to limit inflation and so on. So I'll say no.
I will be the lukewarm water and say that some do and some do not, depending on their location in the galaxy.
From a certain point of view.
Mm-hmm.
It would be great to go back and re-edit all of the Star Wars movies and make the standard currency Bitcoin.
Uh-huh.
And then just having that.
Well, I thought that was funny, first of all. But then they do that because there's a finite amount of Bitcoin, which really prevents inflation.
Oh, there you go.
And then each time you see it, it's different. They have to redub the 14,000.
Yeah. I thought you were going to use this as an opportunity to start promoting your crypto. That's why I was a little wary once you brought up the Bitcoin thing.
No.
So I was like,
here we go.
What's the answer?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know. I told you these are questions that have never been asked.
That's true, yeah.
Did you all look up how many toes Greedo has? Because I did, and all I found out was about turtle toes, rabbit toes, and horse toes. Those were the top 3.
Do horses
maybe
have toes?
average those together, and we'll say that's how many toes Greedo has.
Wait, do horses have toes? Does anything count as a toe on a horse?
Well, I mean, I don't want to read you this website. You can look this up on your own.
Not to be a Seabiscuit
later.
minute.
I'll come by later. We'll talk about horse toes.
Apparently, it's complicated and debated. There are 4, 1 on each foot.
Well, yeah, does that count?
Whoa.
It says toe and hoof are interchangeable here.
I think their hoof is basically a giant toe.
Yeah,
I really
like
think
the
that's
nail.
what it is.
Now I'm picturing like a horse walking around with like 4 thumbs.
Basically it.
Yeah.
You know what horses eat, right? Hey,
Oh.
it's like Fonzie. See, it's like the thumbs. Anyway, what is your third question that we will not know the answer to?
What is the most common pickup line among Jawa singles?
I like that you limit it to singles.
Right. Not Jawa
I guess it
swingers.
doesn't have to be singles.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Utini.
Well, what's the English translation of the pickup
I don't know
line?
that.
Utini was the only word I could have said.
Utini.
Right.
I want to get in there before anyone else had the
What's
chance.
the
So wait a minute. Wait a minute, Alex. Are you trying to tell me that the Jawa shouted that pickup line to R2D2 before he blasted him with that paralysis laser?
Yeah.
Well, no, I think he was. I think the Jawa blasted and then was like, that was a pretty cool move. So now's the chance. I'm going to turn to one of my fellow Jawas and say, hey, Houdini. Huh?
Yeah.
Huh? So that's what I think.
It's blunt. It's like te quiero. It's like I want you. It's like like that can be said to a thing that you want to acquire. Or
I thought it was
Alex,
like
are you saying?
Wait a minute.
I have a clarifying question.
Sure.
Alex, are you saying when that Jawa blasted R2D2, there was a second Jawa off screen that Jawa was trying to impress and said Udini and blasted the R2 unit?
Yeah, there's a sexy lady Jawa just off camera that you couldn't see that had fishnets sticking her leg out.
Yeah. She had the big eyelashes and lipstick. That way you would know it was a lady.
And a bow on her hood.
Yeah.
Pete, what do you think?
I was going to say maybe it's like it's like well, going along with the same thing. If it was Utini, I was going to say it's like a Schwarzenegger style. Like he blasted R2D2 and then said Utini is like a pickup line, almost like if you popped out and shot somebody and was like, come here often, like a tough guy kind of.
It's kind of like a
action
like
movie.
A pose.
Yeah.
Yeah. I took my shot.
Right, yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
I'll be back to Mos Eisley.
Right.
To pick you up. So it works.
Yeah.
All right, you ready for the fifth and last question?
Sure.
Yeah.
And by the way, I'll have to say, you all don't know poodoo about Star Wars.
Well, it's lucky because that's the name of the game.
Yeah.
We're all winning.
This one is more of an opinion question. In the entire Star Wars universe, who has the best work ethic?
The best work. Now, are you talking about a specific character or like a group or?
I think character.
So it's individual, not
Does
like,
it have to be?
And provide evidence. Justify your answer.
Show your work.
We'll have to consult with the ethics supervisor, special ethics supervisor.
Does it have to be like an organic life form?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
It's got to be some robot then.
Yeah, I mean R2D2.
R2D2 really does go above and beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably it. But I'm trying to think of other.
I guess that's the whole point of a droid, is to program it so it does all the work that bioorganisms don't want to do.
Right. Like counter to a theme in this movie that I really liked, and the whole robot resistance and independence.
Yeah.
I think we should exclude robots from this question.
Okay.
Because then it's also, is it a work ethic or is it just that it's just doing what it's programmed to do?
Oh, we need to consult the ethics supervisor.
Yeah. Now you see what an important job it is.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw Chewbacca in there because he could really just kill Han and go home at any time, but he spends years just kind of like trying to, satisfy the demands of his job there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So he's pretty committed to it, and I'm not sure. He has Han Solo's a loner. He's alone. He doesn't have his people. But as Chewie, as we know, has a family. So for him to be out and doing that, that's a serious work ethic. So
that is pretty good. What about Laura Dern in the one that she's in?
The Last Jedi, where she smashes into the other ships.
Right.
She wrecks the whole crew. Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be like a one-off, though. We don't know.
Committed.
Yeah.
I don't know, because that's also like how she is with Poe, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I don't have to tell you why I'm making this decision.
Yeah.
I'm just...
Right.
I'm gonna
go ahead, Alex.
I'm gonna go. It might be controversial. It's gonna get a lot of bad responses in the comments, but I'm gonna say Sheev Palpatine is as a good one of the best work ethics. Because first of all, we see him he's been working on this plan to take over the galaxy for a long time. And, we see him in The Phantom Menace and he's like, oh, I'm going to follow your career greatly. And even since then, it takes him 10 years to get to becoming the super, and then not only that, even after he dies, he's working on taking over the galaxy with this whole secret army and stuff like that. He doesn't.
The dead to finish.
Flesh is falling off of his body, and he's still determined to do what's good for the galaxy.
Okay. But I think we need to what makes a good work ethic? Because I feel like everything that we've just said is sort of conflates a good work ethic with completely becoming a slave to your job and giving your all to it. Like, is that ethically?
So you're saying work-life balance?
Yeah, like maybe somebody who just does their job really well and has a little balance and perspective. Leia might be there.
I meant it as who works the hardest, but I think your question now is a good one, and that's a separate question. Who has the best work-life balance?
Well, yeah,
but I mean, like, wouldn't it be a better universe if good work ethic meant you're taking care of yourself so that you can do your best when you're at your job and you're, all of that stuff. I want to live in a universe where good work ethic doesn't mean you give your life, you sacrifice
working yourself to death
job.
And beyond.
Well, well, in terms of who works the hardest, my vote goes to, I think, an overlooked couple, Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. Not only are they farmers, which is very hard work.
Yep.
They're moisture farmers on a desert planet. I mean, talk about the most difficult crop to grow, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're out there busting their backs every day, right?
Mm-hmm. And they're raising a child.
They are.
A child that's being hunted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. I think that's a good...
But are they throwing themselves into their work in order to kind of cover up to keep Luke grounded? Are they making extra work essentially to be like, no, you can't go because you got to do this? Or are they going?
They're just keeping him busy doing.
They're really rich. They have like 90 million gallons of water.
At night, Uncle Owen will go out and smash some of the moisture evaporators and be like, oh, those damn Tuscans did it again. Luke, you better get out there and repair those. All right.
Well, I believe something to consider.
They have dinner at a table together every night. They make a little time for themselves and their family for some balance.
Although they do have droids doing work for them.
They do.
Yeah.
So
more than enough droids.
Yeah. So maybe they're not working as hard as other people.
No.
That's hard to say.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw Pete, the assistant manager, Jawa, in there too, because he's a hard worker, but he doesn't. They have droids, but they're selling them. They're not using them.
Yeah. Plus, his boss is always hitting on him. That's got to be really uncomfortable
right?
in the Jawa Sandcrawler.
That's not.
What's his pickup line?
There's formulating a joke. I can't get to it.
It's like buffering.
Right, yeah.
Buffering.
Yeah.
Right. This is where everybody tells us the best. Everybody's going to tell us the answer.
Leave in the comments below what you think the best Jawa pickup line would be.
Right.
Well, those are all the questions for this bit. Thanks for trying to answer them.
I'll admit you got us. Those are questions we've never been asked before.
That's true.
And did not know the official answer for, though. Like some of them seem a bit subjective, like the best worker and how many toes a Rodian has.
That is
come on,
very objective.
Yeah.
Potato. I mean, it's Andy, can you come back tomorrow?
I can possibly come back tomorrow.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, Alec, you're going to be coming back tomorrow.
How is that for a commitment? Yeah, I might be able to think about possibly coming back tomorrow. Yeah. I would love to come back tomorrow.
So it's just going to be Alex tomorrow.
Okay, just me.
Yeah.
Everyone's left. So, all right, then. I guess that will wrap up minute number 129.
Wait, I have Star Wars leggings on.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
We talked about it.
We talked about it last week, yesterday.
Perfect time to once again plug StarWarsMinute.com/merch, where you can get those very comfortable, not at all like burlap leggings. And StarWarsMinute.com/merch. Get all your shopping needs done there. Makes it, school starting soon. Get your kids some new stuff, leggings. New shirts. Get your kids some new leggings. Well, we also have other
some notebooks. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, notebooks, tapestries. Kids love tapestries. They go crazy for them.
Yeah.
So go to StarWarsMinute.com. What?
I'm a teacher. I'm putting Star Wars Minute tapestries on my back to school shopping supply list so that all.
That would be great. Put the website there. All the parents, they're going to need 6 over the course of the year, so they might as well buy them all at one time. He gets it. Star Wars Minute.
Star Wars Minute.
Wars Minute.
Star Wars Minute.